Welcome people of YouTube, Jack Gesh here again today. Thank you for joining me and thank you for clicking on this video. Search within yourself to find the answers. Now that's deep, let's kick it off. You know what these videos are about. If you go through life with no awareness of self, with no awareness of who you are, no awareness of what life is or means to you, the feeling of being alive, hold up. Are we beating? Is his heart beating in his chest? Is his lung filling up with oxygen? Filling up with air? Are we filling up with life? Yes, we are. Yes, we feel alive. We can move. We can exercise. We can breathe. That feeling of being alive. Are you driving that energy? Are you harnessing that energy? Because that's important. Or are you docile? Are you asleep? Are you, hold on. Talk to you in a minute, Are you there, clicking away on these? Are you motionless? Are you zombified? Are you hooked on stuff? Are you addicted? It's good to look at yourself. It's good to review yourself. It's good to go inside yourself and really, look for the answers within you. Everybody's so unsure in life. Everybody's so fearful in life. We're constantly looking for the answers. We're watching the news for the truth. We're watching social media for the fashion, and the communication and the social side of life is through technology rather than through socialisation of actually talking to people face to face and harnessing eye contact and some form of connection with people. We're blocking ourselves out from actual life. And we've got this constant distraction and constant drawing towards different things and purchasing consumerism. We lose ourselves in this world. We lose ourselves in what the whole motion of it all. So it's important to look to yourself for the answers. I started looking into myself and looking as who I was as an individual and what life meant to me. And truly, you go on a journey of self-discovery. There's many levels to your self, your personality, your levels of existence. It's all contained within your life, within your remit, within your body and your shell. And you have to look at the conversations we have with ourselves, our imagination, what we think about on a daily basis, how we program ourselves, constantly reviewing ourselves, questioning ourselves. If you're not doing anything like this, then what are you doing? Because sometimes people may think, well, why do I want to, review myself all the time? Why do I want to do all this? Because life's going and continuing. And if you don't kind of grasp how you think and stabilise yourself in life, life just kind of dissipates away in compulsive thinking. And we get carried away in not knowing who we are. Not knowing who we are is dangerous because we become something else. We either become a copy, we become what we see, we become what we digest or what we think we should be. And we don't actually become ourselves. And becoming ourselves makes you an individual. Because you are an individual. How you are created, how you think is wonderful. It's different to me and I'm different to you. And that's a great thing. That's an amazing thing. So many variations, so many varieties. But if we all become the same in terms of thinking, we're taught how to think. We read the news how to think. Culture teaches us how to behave. All this is, indentations from, human existence where we are life itself. We are the organism that's experiencing all this. If you feel lost in life, where do you think the best thing to find the solution is? If you're feeling sad in life, if you're feeling anxious, if you're feeling stressful, where do you think the solution lies? That is a question you have to ask yourself. Some people turn to stimulant, some people turn to, intoxication, some people turn to addictive stuff, some people turn to obsession, some people turn to aggression. Where do you find your own solutions? Because the solution for all your issues is within you. But it's about getting comfortable with being uncomfortable. Because you have to put yourself in uncomfortable situations to push through the boundaries that you've set for yourself. When we set boundaries, we've entrapped ourselves. So pushing yourself beyond them boundaries doesn't feel nice. It doesn't feel comfortable. It's an unknown terrain. You don't know how to respond. It's not your usual area of being in. But it's how you grow. That's how you move forwards. That's how you develop. It's how you become more intelligent. Intelligence, based on your own self and knowledge. It's about understanding your life, because what life means to me is completely different to what it means to you. But in that, there is meaning. Through that, we share some form of relative understanding. Because meaning can mean anything to anyone. And it's good to know where other people lie in their ambitions and what their meaning means. That way we can live better with one another, in family units, in friendship groups. It's good to understand one another, but if you're constantly trying to be somebody else, then how can anybody know you any different? You can't be any different. You've got to be yourself. When you try to be something different all the time, and you're constantly running away from being you, that's when you become more and more encapsulated in a false sense of identity. That's stressful. That's, hard work. It takes a lot of work. When you fall into being an individual, fall into being your own self, that's when things become simple. That's when things become a lot easier, because it's relaxing being who you are. It's relaxing being yourself. You don't have to try anything. You're not constantly trying. You're just simply being. You're simply existing as who you are. You don't have to change anything about yourself. Now, it's hard. It's hard not to change yourself in some situations, especially in social situations, social groups. It's difficult because sometimes we may act a little different, or we may talk a different way, or we're trying to gel and, make sure we fit in situations. Sometimes it's hard to be yourself, but you've got to stay strong. And with that becomes a lot of confidence. If you're constantly being who you are on a daily basis, you will gain a lot of confidence in being who you are. See, the thing is, when we're pretending to be other things, how can we be confident about being something we're not? That doesn't make sense. So we easily get found out. You'll find people compulsively lie when they're not the self. Because anybody who's right-minded knows that either lying or being deceiving is not a very good trait. It's not a good thing to be doing. You don't have to do that. So people, when they're not the self, they will make up lies, make up stories. They'll make up things that trying to impress people because they're not comfortable in being their self. That's where the core growth in life, I find, for me, started, was when I started being comfortable being myself. And when you do that, you almost become a little bit unstoppable to a degree, because a lot of people stop at, not being themselves. When you become past that, your whole new remit, a whole new set of boundaries is in front of you, and they're all ready to break as well. So I just wanted to share something that I'd kind of thought about in life, because you see people in life, and when you come away from this video, maybe take a little time just to think about the words I've said, and maybe just observe a few people and just see what you think about this yourself. Because when you do observe, you'll notice a lot of people are, kind of copies of others. Whatever's popular will happen. Clothes, fashion, all these things. You'll see that people wear a lot of the relatively same things. And I'm not saying that everybody has to wear different clothes or anything, but there's no form of expression in that way. When you become yourself, there's ultimate expression. You want to express yourself because you're happy about being who you are. You're not shamed or shameful of being anything. It's a wonderful thing being who you are. Who we are as individuals is a beautiful expression of life, because everybody's different. Everybody's got their own quirks. Everybody's got their own ideas and fantasies and desires and goals and dreams. And that's a wonderful thing to share amongst people, because you can all kind of be comfortable. As I always say on this channel, peace and love to anybody watching this. Make sure you're taking it easy. Whatever you're doing in life, make sure you're discovering more about yourself and understanding more about yourself, because that's where you're going to find stability. That's where you're going to find comfort. That's where you're going to find strength. Yeah, man.